So Steve, we're here today to discuss the US soccer camps. What's the idea behind them?
Part of the strategy for the academy, certainly our recruitment strategy, is that we look at other markets, developing markets, areas of the world outside of West Bromwich, Birmingham, the Midlands, England, and it's a project which we've been made aware of, and it's something which we support, and it's an exciting project that I think we're going to do for many years to come, because we have to recognise that in America they are football mad, and in particular they love the Premier League. So America's a new area that we're going to explore, kind of dipping our toe in the water a little bit, and I'm sure that if we find some players and the courses are successful, that eventually it will be rolled out across the States in many different places, and also there'll be more opportunities for players in America to come to England and hopefully play in our first team.
Why should the parents of young players in America send their children to one of our camps?
Well, I get hundreds of emails every week, people asking for trials, people asking for an opportunity, and this is a bona fide way of coming through the proper channels, if you like, to get into West Brom. The people who are going over there to deliver the courses, we know them, and the people that are going to be delivering the courses know the standard of player that's required. So rather than us taking a punt on someone that sends an email, we can now say to someone, you've been identified at one of our camps, you're of the standard required, and we think that you'd be successful if you had a trial. So why should they do it? The filtering process has already taken place, and so they got a better chance of getting a successful trial.
What are the qualities that the coaches and the scouts will be looking for?
Well, I think America's a boiling pot of talent. If you think about America, you have the Hispanic Mexican kind of mix there, where there'll be skillful, quick players, and of course being skillful and quick in the Premier League is what the best players are all about. The Afro-Caribbean athleticism, and physical stature and great specimens is something else that we would, be interested in. And then eventually is the Northern European stuff, which is, obviously dogged and determined and machine-like. So all those things rolled into one player, which the American market seems to have, would be of interest to us.
What advice would you give to a young player who dreams of being a professional footballer?
Oh God, advice. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because you could probably talk for hours on end. I think the most important thing for any child is to enjoy playing football. If we ask children to have some free time together and to play football, none of them would put cones down and put a training session on. They would all play a game of football, 5v5, 6v6, headers and volleys. They would all actually play the game. So the most important thing for me is for children to enjoy football. That's the most important thing, and that's why people start to play. They start to play at whatever age because they enjoy kicking a ball. So enjoyment is the key. Once you've gone through one or two stages of progression and moved on to a better standard, then that's when you really need to start thinking about the specifics of what you need to become an outstanding footballer. But enjoyment for me is the key.
Why is it important that West Bromwich Albion are running these ID camps in the US?
Well, as I said at the start, it's part of our strategy to look beyond our own shores. We've had success with Chrissy Woods, who come from New Zealand, and we've had some success this year from Danny Bobia, who's an American boy, who's had almost all of the Premier League after him. He's decided to come to us. And the reason it's attractive is because a lot of the European boys that come in have a different culture to England. It's a different style of play. Whereas the Americans are English speaking. When you go there on holiday, they're very similar to us, similar diet, similar lifestyle. They adapt well to different conditions. And so it's important to us to find markets where these types of players are. Bringing a boy 80 miles from Paris into England, sometimes it's like bringing him from another planet. So the American market is an interesting one, mainly because they speak the language and they're very similar to us in lifestyle.